Hi, my name is Amy Hellinger, and my research topic was how social media affects the mental health of adolescent girls. Being a female, growing up in a time where social media was ever changing, um, I remember having a feeling of not wanting to miss out on things, having to check in, having those addictive feelings at such a young age that I needed this app. I needed to see who updated their top friends on MySpace. That's really can be detrimental to an adolescent female's mental health growing up because they're so vulnerable. Being exposed to things that aren't reality, that are filtered, expectations to be thinner, body image, so forth, at such a vulnerable state is really morphing how these girls are growing up and seeing themselves, um, being really uncomfortable with who they are, always wanting to change themselves, wanting to post those pictures with filters because they're uncomfortable in their natural state because they're not exposed to it. They're not being exposed to the reality at such a young age. Um, this has caused a huge increase in depression and anxiety in these young girls. Throughout my research with this project, I have found that half of mental illnesses start by the age of 14. So you're being exposed to your first cell phone. Maybe you get a Snapchat or something and you're 10 years old. You are so young and so new, and you have to figure out yourself and you have to figure out how to make relationships with people. You are figuring out boys and dating, and you're just figuring out if you're how to be happy, like how to be happy with yourself. Um, Being exposed to all this is really causing a horrific epidemic of the adolescent girls that are self harming. Um, According to social psychologist Jonathan Haidt, he reported on Netflix Social Dilemma that the non fatal girls ages 10 to 14 in the last decade have tripled. They are 189% higher than they were a decade ago when social media became such a huge part of adolescent girls' lives. The suicide rates are up 151% of girls actually committing suicide. This has increased, like I said, in the past decade. And also in the past decade, there's been an increase in how often these young girls are on social media. They're being exposed at such a young age that it's carrying them through their late teen to adult lives. It's really important to make sure your daughters, your sisters, your friends have positive influences at these ages. Um, there's been studies showing that adolescent girls are scared to drive. They're scared to go on dates. It's because they're spending so much time on these social media sites that are giving them this false expectation of what they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to act. It's really causing them to, self like isolate themselves. You can go on your computer in the comfort of your home and you never have to reach out. You never learn how to reach out because you are finding comfort in hurting yourself by looking at these things on social media, and you might not even know that you're doing it. Being, like I said, a female growing up in this time, it's very influential on how you see yourself, and it's influential on who you trust. You are exposed to cyberbullying. You are exposed to celebrities saying, take this, you'll lose weight. You need to be thinner. And from 10 to 14, you don't need to worry about being thinner. So it's really important that we shine light on positive influences for these young girls because of this horrific spike in suicides and even just self-harming. The hospitalizations have skyrocketed in the last decade, coincidentally, the same time that social media is also booming. And there's really no stop to it. I think that it's really important that we teach these young girls how to reach out and who to reach out to, and that it is safe. I think that social media personally should make a safe haven for these young girls. I think that it's very important for future generations and to really stop this rise in suicides and self-harming young girls from the ages 10 to 14. And I think that there needs to be more regulation on what is on these Instagram posts. A lot of social media sites have since started blocking hashtags promoting eating disorders. They have been blocking certain pictures if they feel like it is negatively affecting others. Um, it's really important that we give them positive vibes and positive influences at such a young age so that we can really stop this rise in the suicides and the self harming children.